I absolutely loved your story ideas last week. I think you guys are off to a really great start and you have some really good concepts to develop, and that's wonderful. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this week. This week, you're going to be choosing one of those and then building kind of like a very loose outline, figuring out what your plot points are. And I've given you two different choices that you can go between the hero's journey or Freytag's model. I don't care which one you do, just choose one and work from it. All the videos will explain. So I think you'll enjoy that because it's really loosely figuring out your story. So I want to talk to you a little bit about outlining. So this whole kind of class is for outlining. The reason that we outline is so that when we go to write our novels, it becomes so much easier and the writing process goes so much faster if you've planned out all of these points before you go into start writing, okay? So there are two schools of thoughts about outlining. We have outliners and we have pantsers. Pantsers are people who fly by the seat of their pants while they're writing. Now that kind of feels more creative and feels like you're being more of an artist when you do it that way. But when you're first learning how to write, I think that outlining is the best mode to go through because you work out all of your problem areas before you start to write. So often I've worked with authors who wrote themselves into a corner. And I would say 95% of those people who wrote themselves into the corner had no outline. So what an outline does is it figures out those problem areas before you actually start to write. So instead of writing yourself into a corner and have written 20,000 words and realizing that it doesn't work out, you can outline on a sheet of paper and see where it's not going to work out before you start writing. I really am pro outlining. Now, that doesn't mean that your outline can't grow and change. Look at your outline as if it's a living document. And what that means is that when you get in to start writing and you think that you want to change something, you can go back to your outline and update your outline and then move on from there, okay? So once you write your outline, you're not stuck there. But it's good to have an idea of where you want to end up. And that's the whole point. Okay, so you want to end up at your climax and then your resolution, right? Like the climax is the main part of the story where everything comes together and there's sort of like this explosion type situation, depending on what your story is. Everything you do in your story leads to that climax, okay? So when you're building your story, you can be sure that tension is raised, that the stakes become higher with each and every step up to that climax. So by figuring out all of those plot points before you get there, before you start writing, you know what direction you're headed. Okay, so we're going to do in this course a very detailed outline. Do you have to do a detailed outline every time you write something? Absolutely not. Sometimes just scribbles on a piece of paper of where you want to end up and how you're going to get there is fine. But for this class, we are going to be analyzing every single thing so that you can learn those literary techniques. So we're going to start off with the diagrams. Okay, this week you can either choose from Freytag's model or the hero's journey. And then you're going to fill in the diagram this week. And then you're going to write a paragraph about each plot point. It doesn't have to be much. It can just be 2 sentences. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be overwhelming, okay? I just want to know that you fully thought through your plot points, okay, with your story structure. So that's happening this week. The next week, we're going to step back from that and work on our characters. We're going to work on our main protagonist, our main character, and our antagonist or the villain. And you're going to fully kind of figure out who they are and so that you know them so that they become alive for you, because them becoming alive for you is so very important for the writing process. And in fact, I will explain next week, it is important for the reading process as well. Okay, so you'll be doing that. Then the week after, you're going to be working on your setting. Okay, and so then we have all these other things that we're going to throw in there. We're going to start talking about backstory after setting. We're going to be talking about subplots, things like that you can add in. So you're going to have this document and you're going to be, as we go along, adding things to it, okay? So that the last few weeks, you're going to be writing an extremely detailed outline of your story. So ultimately, you will be working on that very detailed outline, which, if you sign up for the novel writing course after this course, will make that process so much easier. It'll fly. I promise you. Also, I am going to be doing this along with you. So this week I'm going to start posting as well because I am starting a novel, and I already have partial outline, like a loose outline written. So I'm going to be doing this along with you because I haven't figured out my climax yet. And I may actually need your help to figure that out. So I will be posting with you. And even if you get there and in the message board, I know it says post your light kind of outline plotting paragraphs here. If you're like, but I don't know what to do with this section, post that too. It doesn't just have to be the assignment. It can be a discussion where we all help one another. And I would really enjoy that if we could all help one another. I think that it helps us to grow in the learning process. So let's all work together. And like I said, I'm going to be working with you and I'm going to be posting along with you. So, okay, let's get to it. Also, do you see my little friend over there? I'm like so sick of the grumpiness and everything that I decided I needed to get out Santa Claus. So I'm ready. I'm ready for Christmas. I'm ready to put lights on the house. So need a little bit of happiness. So, okay. I can't wait to get started on this week.